all around the world sharing the same word by reading Unity's daily word. Today's word is insight. I trust in my spiritual insight and I am at peace. Experience can guide me as I deal with any challenges in my life. I appreciate acquired skills and the many ways in which they serve me. Still, at times, a new perspective is needed to take a fresh look for any missed opportunities and solutions. So I learned to rely on my indwelling spiritual insight, my Christ expression, to guide me to the most effective choices I can make. In experiencing oneness with God as source, any fears and challenges of the world are dissolved and alleviated. I am able to find both courage and peace. No proof is needed or even possible for my spiritual insight. I simply trust, and I am at peace. And from John chapter 16, verse 13, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. For he will not speak on his own, but will speak whatever he hears, and he will declare to you the things that are to come. So if you want to continue on with the daily word the other days of the week, we have them for sale March and April. The issue is available at the different tables. It's also the first Sunday of Lent. So we also have the amazing Unity publication called the Lent Booklet. I think it's something a true Lent. But it's free, and so it's at the Unity tables too. So pick that up. It's a wonderful daily reader to take advantage of. I want to start with a little gratitude before we go to our next couple of things. We'd like to thank the following people for generously donating and sharing their abundance. Fred Herdekant and Marie Siegel donated coffee for the Friendship Room. So if you are enjoying, yes, I think they were here this morning. I don't think they were here this morning and in the between the services. So if you're enjoying being caffeinated this morning, say thank you to them. And then also, you all have been amazing in your donations towards the choir keyboard. We want to say thanks. We've got almost 500 of the 800 goal for the new keyboard. And on behalf of Scotty Zocker and the choir, thank you, amazing people, keeping the joyful sounds coming. So at this point, I'm going to light our candle. Also take this moment for an opening prayer. Take a deep breath. In this moment, we acknowledge the amazing light that is in each and every one of us. We come here today, we bring that light with us. We know that in this service, we will hear exactly what we are supposed to hear. We will be touched by the music in the right and perfect way. We bring that presence to the service, knowing that we also can be a mirror for those around us. We can help them see their bright light as they help us see our incredible light. We are grateful for this. We are grateful to be here, connecting to that divine light that is in each of us. And so it is. And to build on that expression of the amazing light that is in each and every one of us, I ask to place your hand on your heart and with me say, I am the light of the world. So together, please. I am the light of the world. And look at your neighbor who may not have already heard that and say, you are the light of the world. So now that we have reminded ourselves and everyone around us that there are many, many bright lights, let's send this amazing energy to the rest of the world. Rub your hands together, because we know there are many people that are not here today that need to acknowledge that. So if you would repeat after me, we are the light of the world. Together, please. We are the light of the world. Yay, thank you for doing that. I am thrilled to introduce our vocalist. Our vocalist is appearing for the first time at Unity in Chicago. Don Sternberg recently began his 5th decade as a working musician, which is amazing. Along the way, he has been involved in many musical activities, performing, writing, recording, producing, and teaching, but is best known for his mandolin playing. Born and still based in Chicago, the mandolin found Don as he grew up out in the woods in the nearly rural suburb of Wauconda, Illinois. Currently, Don is regarded as a leading exponent of jazz mandolin style and a respected teacher, so he is sharing that amazing gift. The most recent of his 9 recording projects is Good Numbers, a collection of standards and jazz tunes played by his working band, the Don Sternberg Trio. Let's give a very, very warm Unity welcome, Don Sternberg.
We're going to play jazz.
Each day I do a golden deed by helping those who are in need. My life down here is but a span, and so I'll do the best I can. Life's evening sun is sinking low. A few more days, and I must go to meet the deed that I have done, where there will be no setting sun.
To be a child, of God each day,
Of God each day,
my light will shine along the way,
along the way.
and I'll sing His praise,
I'll sing His praise
while the ages roll.
while ages roll.
I'll try to help some troubled soul. Life's evening sun
Life's evening sun
is sinking low.
is sinking low.
A few more days, and I must go,
And I must go
to meet the deed that I have done,
that I have done,
where there will be no setting sun. Life's evening sun
Life's evening sun
sinking low.
is sinking low.
A few more days, and I must go
And I must go
to meet the
to
deed
meet the deed
I have done,
that I have done,
where there will be
where there will be
no setting sun, where there will be no setting sun.
Thank you, Don Sternberg. That was fabulous. Thank you, trio. We have Phil, Kurt, and of course Peter and Gretchen. Thank you for being a collaborator with her on those wonderful voices. So we are also blessed to have another first-timer with us today. What? Katie, you are so funny. Love your energy. Yes, another first-timer, our guest speaker, Michael Fine. Michael was born and raised in suburban Chicago, similar to Don. His life was tragically altered on April 14th, 2010, after a car accident that resulted in the traumatic amputation of his left arm. But for the heroics of a bystander on the scene, Michael would have bled out and lost his life that day. While Western emergency medicine saved Michael's life, he found that he needed untraditional, non-pharmaceutical methods to help him deal with his chronic residual pain. He's here to tell us about his incredible journey. Let's give him a warm unity welcome, Michael Fine.
Good afternoon, Unity Chicago. An honor to be here in this beautiful sanctuary. Before I start my talk, I'd like you to watch a quick video that'll give you a little bit more background as to how I got here today.
Here in Chicago, the story of a freak accident, a hero, and a man who is counting his blessings, lucky to be alive. NBC5's Alex Perez has this exclusive interview.
I just remember seeing a blur hit me, and then I remember nothing.
Michael Fine still doesn't know exactly how everything happened. After 2 weeks in the hospital, he's getting stronger each day, but still accepting his left arm is gone.
Both the arteries in my arm were severed. I would have bled out in 8 to 10 minutes.
But that didn't happen, thanks to Eric Coleman.
I was admiring his car, actually.
Admiring Michael Fine's Volvo convertible, which now looks like this, a tire mark right up the hood. Fine was driving west on Devon between Caldwell and Milwaukee with the top down, feeling the wind through his fingers, early morning April 14th. Coleman was driving right behind him when an oncoming truck smashed into Fine's car head on.
I saw him airborne. I felt something over the top of my car, which happened to be, later on I found out was actually part of his arm.
Without hesitation, Coleman and another woman who had a few rags in her car stopped to help.
I took the rags and basically told her, look, we're going to apply pressure as much as we possibly can. If you can't stand the blood, don't look at it.
Then another passerby brought a branch to fashion a tourniquet and stop the bleeding.
Gave me the branch. I slid it in and we just started rotating. So I rotated as tight as I could, and I finally got a chance to kind of shut it off like a faucet.
Since then, Fine has been here at Lutheran General recovering, a room filled with well wishes and pictures of his two boys. Coleman has even gotten a chance to visit already.
I'm not owed anything. I just believed I was there for an individual who needed help.
I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to repay that man for allowing me the privilege and the honor to be able to watch my children grow up. And I won't be able to do it, but I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying, because that's what I owe to that man, Eric Coleman.
And believe it or not, Eric Coleman says this is actually the third time he has helped to save someone's life in an emergency. Michael Fine says he considers April 14th, the day of the accident, his new birthday. Rob?
What a story. Thank you, Alex.
Clap for him. He deserves it. We actually just had dinner this past week with my wife and he and his wife. My boys now are 21 and 18. I can't believe that that was almost 8 years ago this April. They grew up literally looking to him and referring to him as an uncle. Truly the most beautiful human being I think I've ever met. His name is saved in my phone as Earth Angel, because that's what he is. Still doesn't think he did anything to this day, the most humble guy you'd ever want to meet. I don't think I ever even would have met him but for getting his name off the police report and calling him, because again, he was able to help that day, and in his own words, that's just what you do. And anyways, good morning again, Unity Chicago. I am so fortunate and grateful to be here with you. I want to first thank my friend and yoga student at B Yoga Andersonville, right here, the incomparable former senior minister, Reverend Heidi Alfrey, for inviting me here to your lovely sanctuary of worship to have this talk today. Fortunate and grateful might seem like odd words to use in light of what you just saw, but it's true. You see, the news story was really, truly just the beginning of a new life journey for me that I said started almost 8 years ago. Many might look at my situation as a loss, a traumatic accident, the loss of a limb, but I choose to look at my situation very differently. Not only did I survive a horrific car accident that, quite frankly, 9 out of 10 people wouldn't have walked away from, I gained so much more as a result of it. I've been so fortunate to have had many amazing people come to my aid and my rescue in many different ways before and since that day. During that time, I've ridden an emotional roller coaster, reaching the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and then back up again. The day of the accident, as you saw, started out as like any other ordinary day in my life. I was driving to work on a beautiful sunny day, actually the first nice day of spring in 2010. I had a rule when I bought that car that when it was 50 degrees or above, the top was down. That was it. I don't care if the seat heaters were on and the windows were up and the heat was on, but the top was down when it was 50 or above. And that was the first day of 2010 that it was 50 or above. Suddenly, out of nowhere, seemingly anyway, I saw a red blur, which happened to be a red concrete truck that struck me head on at about 40 miles an hour. I can honestly tell you I don't remember anything after that moment of impact. The synergy and collaborative energy that unfolded out of that moment was nothing short of a miracle. Eric, who you just saw and we talked about, he isn't a doctor. He works in the food service industry. In an amazingly stressful moment, he assessed the situation, figured out a solution, marshaled people around him, MacGyvered a tourniquet out of tree twigs and rags at my shoulder where my left arm used to be, and saved my life. Again, as it said in the story, when you lose your left arm, because it's so close to your heart, you have about 8 minutes before all the blood is pumped out of your body. Eric did such an efficient job that despite my injury, I lost only a minimal amount of blood and didn't even need a blood transfusion when I got to the hospital. On that note, as you heard in the story, it probably doesn't surprise you that I'm the third person that Eric has saved. Earth angel indeed. The next step of my journey brought me to Lutheran General Hospital. My team in the emergency room and gifted trauma surgeon worked on me for 14 hours to use their expertise and efficiency to literally, again, save my life that day. In my almost 6-week stay at Lutheran, I endured 8 surgeries, 9 and 10 the following January. Not a double-digit number to shoot for anyone. And I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. The hospital stay and the multiple surgeries were a personal record for me. Prior to the accident, the only time I'd ever spent in the hospital, aside from being born, were the nights that I ironically spent at Lutheran General when my 2 boys, Jeremy and Jacob, were born. Now both of whom are in college, 21 and 18, respectively. The next leg of my journey brought me home for the summer to recuperate and heal with my family. During the summer, I visited many doctors, had tons of physical and occupational therapy, all in an effort to regain my balance, both figuratively and literally, and attempt to control the intense pain that I still feel to this day. You see, you may find it hard to believe, but I still feel my entire left arm as if it were attached to my body. The feeling is called phantom pain, and my condition is known as chronic residual limb pain syndrome. I feel my arm as if it's encased in a block of ice and being squeezed all the time. I feel lightning strikes. I feel the pins and needles feeling that you may feel after having your hands or feet in the snow for a long time. I feel this pain because my brain keeps firing off electrical impulses through the framework of my body to where my arm used to be, and this neuroelectricity has no place to escape. As a result, these electrical impulses cause me to feel intense and at times excruciating pain in my phantom arm. This pain is triggered by external variables, for example, changes in weather, changes in pressure, temperature, barometric pressure, humidity, as well as internal variables, stress, anxiety, fear. On that note, I've tried almost every modern drug and pain remedy and a variety of ancient Eastern healing therapies and energy techniques back then to no avail. After trying all these treatments with only a minimal decrease in the pain level, I finally lost faith. I lost faith in the doctors, God, my Jewish religion, and even myself, as I thought the pain would never ever stop. This, compounded by the loss of my father 2 months prior to the accident, my mother being diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer 4 months after the accident, the man who hit me blaming me and being destitute without any auto insurance coverage, and an individual health insurance company, Humana at the time, before the Affordable Care Act was in place, denying all coverage for a full year as I sat on a mountain of medical debt totaling close to $650,000. All of this served to rapidly accelerate my spiral downward. Instead of focusing on healing, I spent my days and long nights wondering when we were going to lose our house, our money, all the material things that at that time I thought were the most important things. My fears, doubts, and way too many prescription medications, about 35 pills a day, catapulted me into a downward free fall, resulting in an awful, deep, dark depression that lasted for more than 5 months. It was a terrible and painful time for me and my family. Even the simplest task, getting out of bed, taking a shower, getting dressed, were so difficult to perform. I finally became so sick and tired of fighting both the physical and the mental pain, which, by the way, was not only just as real, but was just as painful, that I came to a crossroads of not wanting to go on. Over a 1-month period, I would regularly attempt to end my life each night while my wife and my boys slept peacefully in their beds. My attempts ranged from wrapping a belt around my neck and hanging over a basement door until I passed out, to sitting in a closed garage with my car running, to putting a knife to my wrist in the bathroom sink. I stopped eating, dwindled down to 135 pounds. I stopped caring. I just wanted out. You know what? It's hard to kill yourself. I know that sounds strange, but it really is hard to kill yourself. No matter what you think, your body, your spirit has a natural will to fight to survive. And I literally battled myself every day for a month. I could tell you with 100% certainty that if I would have had a handgun in my home, I wouldn't be here today. That takes no reflection, No thought, just the pull of a trigger. This internal battle finally culminated with me taking a bottle of pills, and my wife and my oldest son at the time, then 12, coming home to find me on the kitchen floor. Did I really try to take my life that day? I don't know. I don't think so. You see, I took a bottle of nerve blocker pills, Lyrica. If I truly wanted to end it that day, I could have taken any number of opioid narcotics that were readily available at my fingertips. Norco, Vicodin, Oxycontin, methadone, morphine, fentanyl, you name it, I had it all. I really think that day was my final cry for help. You see, the physical and the mental pain combined in a negative synergistic way to send me off that pain chart to an 11 on that proverbial 1 to 10 scale. After that attempt and a trip back to Lutheran General, I was then involuntarily committed in Lutheran Psych Ward, the same hospital I walked out of a hero a few months prior, stripped of my belt, stripped of my shoelaces, under 24/7 watch, and I spent my days in group therapy with drug addicts and alcoholics wondering how I got there. The only visitors that I allowed at the time were my wife and my mom. I vividly remember my beloved mother suffering at that time from stage 4 terminal lung cancer, the best person I've ever known next to my wife, telling me that if I wasn't going to try to get better and survive, then neither was she. That didn't even pull me out. I was still stuck, now even more depressed, feeling worse as I was on a treadmill to nowhere, a nonstop treadmill of guilt, shame, remorse. Why? Why, you ask? Because that was the day when I took those pills and my oldest son, Jeremy, found me on the kitchen floor, that I effectively took this beautiful boy's childhood from him. I kept reliving that day again and again and again, like Groundhog Day. Fortunately, my story doesn't end there. My way back up to the living. I could tell you the exact moment when the tide turned. I remember it as vividly as if I was struck in the head by a bolt of lightning. My best friend in the world, my first friend ever since we were 3, his name is Howard Falco, and he's a spiritual author and a mind-body coach. He lives in Arizona, and he'd been there for me throughout the accident and the resulting carnage. He had just come out with his first book called I Am, The Power of Discovering Who You Really Are. First-time author, no fancy initials after his last name. Book was picked up by Penguin, largest publisher in the world. Pretty powerful stuff. Recently, he came out with his second book called Time in a Bottle, Mastering the Experience of Life. That book has my story in it, among some other really great things. I was reading that book on that day. I call it the day of my epiphany, and came to a line that read, "You do the best that you can in any given moment that you're in, and your best is good enough." When the meaning of that sentence truly sunk in for me, it was literally like seeing life in black and white in one moment and then morphing into full-on 3D Technicolor in the next. It was at that very moment that I realized that I, or anyone for that matter, had the power to change who I was in any given moment, at any given instant. The choice to make that change was up to me. At that very moment, I realized that while I regretted taking those pills and hurting my son and my family, that doing so was the best I had that day. At that time, I wasn't proud. I regretted it, but it was my best. Moreover, everybody falls down. Even our heroes, even our parents, even those we most trust and admire. But life isn't about falling down. It's about getting up. It's about moving forward, surviving. Yes, I'm a huge Rocky fan. Now it was up to me and me alone to show my sons, to show my wife, to show the world that I was no longer that same guy. I chose to change, and I did. It was also at that time that my acupuncturist introduced me to a healing modality that was my physical, mental, and spiritual game changer. My foundation for body, mind, and spirit healing, a type of hatha yoga known as the Bikram method, a series of 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises, in a 105-degree room at 40% humidity that heals your body from the inside out. By the way, I'm now a certified instructor in this yoga method. I teach right here in Andersonville at B Yoga. And for the first time in my 50 years, this recovering attorney is truly happy and loves what he does. As you know, life is not always easy, and many times it throws you a curveball and knocks you down like it did to me and my family. The only thing that differs from one person to the next in difficult circumstances such as my own is how you choose to deal with the problem or crisis. Again, the operative word here is choose. You see, I believe that life really comes down to 3 very simple concepts: choice, faith, and perspective. You've all heard the scientific principle that there's only one true constant in life: change. While we have no ability to stop change from occurring, we have the capacity to choose how to deal or to cope with that change. We can either roll with it like a river that runs into a rock and easily finds its way around the obstacle, or we can oppose the change, and as a result, we feel pain. Yes, feeling pain, as I learned, is also a choice to some extent. In other words, by me choosing to allow the pain to dictate the terms of my life, I gave away my power, granting the pain the authority to rule and shape my entire existence. I'm not saying that the pain was not and is not very real for me, but rather that in my mind, I built the pain up to an almost insurmountable obstacle that I chose to give up and stop fighting rather than to face and embrace the pain head on, just like any other part of me. We've also all heard the expression that attitude isn't everything, it's the only thing. That statement is another profound truth. You see, life is not only about choices, but it's also about faith and perspective. Each and every one of us here has the ability to perceive life in any way we choose. Your faith in yourself, God, perspective in any situation becomes your ultimate reality. You can choose to paint your perspective and your reality in a positive light or a negative light. The choice is yours to make. If you choose the positive route, then more likely than not, you will be part of a positive outcome. However, on the other hand, if you choose the negative route, which again is also your choice, you are virtually guaranteed a negative result. I tell you this from my very own personal experiences. Until the day came when I chose to look at life's obstacles in terms of what I could do with one arm, rather than in terms of what I could not do, the results were negative 99% of the time. When I finally woke up to the simple truth that I had the power to shape my own reality, and armed with this knowledge, pun intended, and faith, my entire outlook changed into a state of sheer gratitude for being alive and able to watch my boys grow up and grow old with my wife. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how the synergy of my accident and the ripples of change affected and impacted those closest to me. First, my wife, my beautiful wife, Laura. We'll be married for 25 years in May. I can honestly tell you that she was the glue that held our family together during this awful, awful time. She's the best person that I know. I think I would have left me at that time. But she didn't. She strapped in and went to battle. Back then, she was a part-time professor in the political science department at Northeastern Illinois University, teaching American government, the Constitution, and political science. After what our family went through on both the health and the auto insurance fronts, she was imbued with a sense of strength and energy to create change and level the playing field on both the health and auto insurance fronts, so no one else would ever have to experience what our family did. In 2012, she ran and won a seat in the 17th District of the Illinois House of Representatives. Yeah, you can clap for her. She deserves it. She ran again on a consumer-based platform to level the grossly imbalanced insurance playing field in our state, and as of last year, serves as the chair of Health and Safety Insurance in the Illinois House. This also a time to clap. This means that any bills affecting health and safety of the citizens of our state comes through her committee. Needless to say, the insurance lobby is not very happy. Moreover, she's now running for the Illinois Senate in 2018 to replace Daniel Biss, who's running for governor. This last year, she passed legislation to protect us in the event that the Affordable Care Act is overturned. And if it is so overturned, pre-existing conditions will be mandatorily covered in the state of Illinois. Next, my oldest son, Jeremy, the one who found me on the kitchen floor that awful day. He's a junior at Washington University in St. Louis, a straight-A student preparing to attend medical school. He worked for the orthopedic trauma surgeon that saved my life a few years ago in the summer, and now currently serves as a medical liaison and an interpreter for a nonprofit organization called Casa de Salud, which serves the poor and immigrant population of St. Louis in coordinating medical care and treatment. Finally, yeah, I can clap for him too. Finally, my youngest son, Jacob, he's a freshman at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, where he's studying mechanical engineering and physics. Inspired by a summer internship at a 3D printing and fiber optic company, while in high school, he founded a club called Project Mobility, the mission of which was to design and 3D print high-quality prosthetic limbs for amputees in need. The first myoelectric limb that he created was for his dad. So much incredible good has come out of my accident. My wife and boys are just the tips of the proverbial iceberg. Living life in chronic pain is difficult. At times, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. However, if you told me that I had to go back to seeing life through my pre-accident eyes and perspective, and I could have my arm back, no pain, riches, fame, fortune, I can honestly tell you that you can keep the arm. For the past 7 years, I've lived my life awake, eyes wide open, aware, for the first time ever. This is the greatest gift I've ever received. This awareness is worth more to me than money, fame, living pain-free, or even a left arm. I'm aware of my awareness for the first time in 50 years. I'm teaching a yoga that profoundly changed my life and teaching others that they have the ability to heal themselves through this practice. I wake up each day and the first words that come out of my mouth are thank you. I truly believe that I am one of the luckiest men on the planet. Not only do I have a front row seat to watch my wife and my boys change and heal our world, which right now is in such desperate need of love and healing, I start each day with a thought and intention of who can I help today? How can I be of service? and make the world better. Everywhere and everyone is an opportunity to do so. At Starbucks, on the podium of the yoga schools where I teach, at the grocery store. I honestly believe that the true currency of life isn't money, isn't things, it's connection. It's connection to one another. I honestly believe that putting good into the world for good's sake, for no other reason than that I can, and it's right, without any expectation of receiving something in return, is my superpower. By sending this goodness out into the universe, it's like a karmic boomerang. You can call it God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, energy, karma, whatever it is. I believe it's the same thing. We're all connected. That goodness will come back to us, and it does so in an exponential and synergistic way. 1 + 1 don't equal 2. 1 + 1 = 300 when that happens. I'll close by reading a mantra that hangs on my bed that my best friend that I told you about before, Howard Felko, and I put together after my accident from my hospital bed in an effort to help me heal. It goes as follows. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I choose to not only heal, but thrive in life as a result. Therefore, I choose to fully accept what has happened to me in my left arm. I'm grateful for my life, my wife, my children, my family, my friends, and all the love that surrounds me each and every day. I am blessed and realize there is a tremendous opportunity in front of me to inspire and positively affect many people, if that is the road I choose to take. I understand that I have the power to shape the experience of the rest of my life in any way that I so choose and desire, and that who I am is not defined by anything physical, but always by who I choose to be as a human being in this very moment. I choose to see only love, gratitude, opportunity, and endless possibility for me in my life. Amen. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity to speak for you today. Very kind. It's been, thank you. Thank you.
Wow is right. Thank you, Michael Fine, for sharing your experience, your lessons, your life. You are very inspirational. You inspire us all. Let's take that amazing energy into meditation.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
As we begin our meditation, take a deep breath and close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Relax into your seat, becoming aware of how well supported you are in your chair. Bring your focus completely to this sanctuary, the beautiful music, the warmth of the room, the awareness that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. In this moment, we sit in the awareness. We actually bask in the awareness that the presence of Spirit is everywhere, around us and within us. We are grateful for the message of choice. Choosing to see everything in our life in a way that can impact our life positively. We know that we are earth angels as we are here. We know that earth angels are all around us. We tap into that ability to be that for others. And we live our lives with our eyes wide open, awake, seeing the beauty, the goodness, the connection, the love that is all around us, within us, and in our lives every day, every hour, every minute. As we do this, peace fills our hearts and our minds. We celebrate this moment, knowing that this peace and this awareness of choice and faith and our own perspective, how that impacts our lives. We also know that the presence of Spirit is also all around us, stable, unwavering, and consistent. We are grateful for this opportunity to focus on all these amazing things, to renew and refresh our spirit in this moment. We have touched this comforting presence. It moves through us and renews us. Our hope and optimism is renewed, and we know that all is well.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, Gretchen. In this moment, we invite you to speak the names of those who you would like held in prayer. Speak that into this sacred energy. And in your prayer energy, we also ask that you include the names of those who are asking for prayer, whose names are on the screen, and those who have asked for prayer, have some need in their heart. In addition to those names, please hold our beloved community in our hearts and prayers. We hold our board, our staff, and our volunteers in this powerful prayer energy, and we bless each one of them. May our peace and oneness bless our brothers and sisters all around the world as we hold the high watch. Thank you, God, for prayers already answered, and so it is. Amen. And just a reminder that we have prayer chaplains who would love to pray with you after this service. For this service, it's Tom Skinner, Diane Weinrich, and Rosie Banks. I know Tom's somewhere around here, so please, if you have something that you are celebrating or something that you would like to have prayer energy applied to and experience with, come see them. It's amazing. The words that come through them, and the wonderful thing about it is it's not just this 5 minutes. It lasts, the words last, and you can hold that with you. So thank you, guys, for doing that. You can also, if you want a monthly wellness call, sign up at the Fillmore Room. That's there or downstairs. And now it is time for our conscious giving, a time that we contribute. We give not out of a sense of obligation, but to contribute gifts to this amazing space knowing that it's not only about us and our community, but it also goes out into the world and does a ton of good. So please put your hands together and join me in saying our gratitude affirmation. I am abundance in action. There is no lack in my life. I give from the fullness of what I receive. In faith, I know that giving creates a void that will be quickly and lovingly filled. I hold a vision of thriving for myself and for unity in Chicago. And so it is.
And I am so blessed. Let's sing along with this one, Unity. Here we go. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. One more time. Let me hear it. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
We are so incredibly blessed. What a beautiful song to remind us of that. And we are blessed to have these tithes. Blessed to have the actual tithes themselves. Blessed to have the contributors of these tithes. We bless them with gratitude and inspiration, knowing that they bless this community and they go out into the world and they exchange hands over and over and come right back to us in amazing ways. And so repeat after me. I don't think this is up there. Here's an affirmation. I'll say it in pieces. Divine substance flows in all its fullness. Into my consciousness and through me. As prosperity into all my affairs. Great. Thank you. Thank you for great. Thank you, ushers. Thank you for the tithes. And there's also a table in the Sunshine Gallery if you're looking for other ways to contribute or different formats. There's a table, text to give, so you can tithe by text. There's also the Abundant Life program that you can sign up for. So a few announcements. The one, I wanted to let you know that Michael Fine will be here. He'll stay after the service at 1 o'clock and be here in the sanctuary. If anybody wants to learn more or talk to him, he'd be happy to tell more about his amazing story, his life. It's not just a story, it's a life. And then our Lent class, date change. It's now Thursday the 22nd through March 29th, 7 p.m. in the library. We're using Charles Fillmore's Keep a True Lent, available for $15 at the Unity tables upstairs and downstairs. And now, Pam Parker has a very glamorous announcement for you. And fun.
Good morning. I am here to remind you that we have an Oscar party here, and it is a total blast, so be there. The menu is amazing. It's full of fun, family, and food. I don't know what to wear. Last week, somebody asked about pajamas, and I was like, pajamas? Well, that's not a bad idea. The slippers, they might have to stay, very comfortable. The robe, maybe not. I definitely want a little bling, but you can dress however you want. So please join us. We have an Oscar ballot contest, and we'll have another couple of contests and raffle for you all with fabulous prizes. So please see me in the Sunshine Gallery. It's $30, everything included. It's like 6 hours of fun. I mean, what a deal.
Now, that wasn't not only glamorous, but also fun. Thank you, Pam, for the announcement and for organizing that whole event. Claudia Braun has a wonderful event. She's hosting a wellness workshop on Sunday, February 25th, next Sunday, at 1:15 p.m. Tickets are $20. She wasn't able to be here in person, but she is here via video. So there's a short video to tell us about the amazing event.
Good morning, Unity Chicago. I am Claudia Braun, and I'm inviting you to join me on Sunday, February 25th, to be well with oils, food, and lifestyle. So if 2018 is your year to be healthier than you've been yet, you want to join me. You're going to learn some tools to implement into your life. You're going to get some free stuff to make it easier, to make it consistent. And you're also going to discover what has been in the way from your being able to do this so far. So I'm really excited to be with you on Sunday, February 25th, being well with oils, food, and lifestyle. All right, look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Great. How about that? Healthiest you've been yet. That's what the event is about. So that's next Sunday, 1:15. One other quick announcement. If you have not gone to see that amazing art gallery, go in there. It is extraordinary with 14 different artists that are from our community. You get to read a little bit about each one, and it's just inspiring, the color. So if you haven't gone there, take a stroll through the art gallery. We are blessed to have 2 people to spearhead that and 14 artists to contribute. So if you are joining us for the first time, we are glad that you are with us. We hope that you've had a great experience. And we have a token of appreciation that we'd like to share with you. So if this is, say, your first or second or even third time, would you raise up your hand so we could find you and that we can share our gift with you? Thank you. Keep those hands up. Thank you. There's one over there. One over here in the back there. So the people that are handing those out, they're part of our welcome team. They've got a couple different colors of badges on. They would love to answer questions and greet you. In addition to that, in that packet, there's a visitor's card that if you wouldn't mind completing, because we'd love to learn more about you and just get to know you a little bit more. You also, if you take that to the table that's either downstairs or up here, that is Sunshine Gallery or Friendship Room, that's downstairs, you will get the very spiffy Unity Chicago bag. So 7 cents over and over and over. This is valuable. So, and I'm giving this one to you, my dear, because you deserve it. So there are beautiful flowers behind me, if you've probably already noticed them. They are generously donated by Sarah and Jeff Bibick. These flowers honor the birthday month of Zoe, 17, and Jake, 14. Both of these kids are literally children of Unity in Chicago. From their christenings to Unitots, Sunday School, Uniteens, and YOU, these kids are part of the legacy that you, Unity in Chicago, are making. So thank you for that. To Zoe and Jake, thanks for still playing tag. Thanks for relying on each other. Thanks for being each other's best friends. And thanks for being our greatest teachers. Love, Mom and Dad. They have definitely grown up here. I know that you will recognize them. Jake is now 6'2". Amazing. So happy birthday, Zoe and Jake. If you'd like to donate flowers for your special occasion, we have March dates available. We'd love for you to do that. Stop in by the information desk or email tammy@unitychicago.org. And then just other quick things. Pet ministry, we are blessed to have the pet ministry here every Sunday. Carol Stiegel leads this amazing effort. And so you can always go. She'll always be in the Sunshine Gallery. Is she still here? Where's she gone? Okay. Okay. So you know she's here most of the time, and she's always looking for foster forever homes. Okay, I'm going to keep going, but then Carol comes back. So if you're an active Unity member planning to attend this month's Board of Trustees meeting, which is Tuesday at 7, please RSVP to Dan Ray. That helps them know how many chairs and everything. Dan@unitychicago.org. Please do that no later than Monday at 6. We'd love to know that. Come on up, Carol. Carol is here. She's always... Here she is with a sweet little cat with a really warm flannel blanket around it. Needs a home. It's beautiful. Sweet. See? That's a cute face. Okay. We know, Carol, thanks for all that you do. Okay, you know we have a ton of events. Look at your bulletin. Look online. Look at the website. Get on the weekly blast. There's so many ways to stay in touch. And now, help me welcome back the very, very talented Don Stierenberg. Very talented.
Praying, somebody touch me while I was praying. Somebody touch me while I was praying. Somebody touch me. It must have been the hand of our Lord. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. It must have been the hand of our Lord. Singing, somebody touch me while I was singing. Somebody touch me while I was singing. Somebody touch me. It must have been the hand of our Lord. So glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Must have been the hand of our Lord. Somebody touch me while I was preaching. Somebody touch me while I was preaching. Somebody touch me. It must have been the hand of our Lord. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. It must have been the hand of our Lord. Glory, glory, glory. Somebody touch me. Glory, glory, have been the hand of our Lord. Must have been the hand of our Lord.
No kidding, that was fabulous. Thank you so very much. I think I heard 3-part harmony this time. Was that right? Man, oh man, we are blessed. Don Stierenberg, thank you for leading the trio. Phil, Kurt, Peter, of course, and then Gretchen, thanks for your voice. Michael Fine, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing your experience and your lessons. You were such an inspiration. We're blessed. So on that note, Gretchen, please sing us home.
Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together and let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God! Yay, us! Happy Sunday Unity!
Thank you.